Okay, we are coming up on the astral third chakra. This is the last of the lower chakras in the astral body and a really interesting chakra. It plays a lot of different roles in your experience. First of all, its location is between the notch of the ribs, right where your ribs come together beneath your breasts, opens out in the front of the body and in the back of the body and is very attuned to earth energy. All the lower chakras are attuned to earth energy. This chakra, some people will say it's a will center, it's a control center, it's a power center. Don't like any of those words. They're very perhaps masculine in their presentation. And I don't think they really speak to how the chakra works. I like to think of the chakra as a center of volition. And I learned this back when I first learned about the chakras back in 1991. And that word stuck so deeply with me. I have been so grateful for that definition of the third chakra because it speaks to what is so. When you choose to take a program like the Astral Practitioner program, it's not going to happen without your third chakra. If you decide to go to a movie or out to dinner or to get on an airplane and fly to Europe, you must have energy flowing through your third chakra to create the action, to follow through on the idea. And so volition is a really fabulous word because it speaks to that flow state. And it speaks to the alignment between the idea, I'm going to go to Europe, and the body's ability to get on a plane and fly to Europe. So the third chakra is all about how you get your life done. So, of course, there can be issues with getting things done, right? Procrastination, various and sundry other things, starting and stopping, lots of things. And again, there's a YouTube video that talks about third chakra implications that you may want to watch because I'm not going to cover all that in this video when I've got another video that already does that work for me. So this chakra comes online at around age 12. And I think this is fascinating because at around age 12, what's happening in the person's body? All of their sexual hormones are coming online, right? And so they're coming into puberty. And at puberty, there's this really interesting thing that starts to happen. If you're a parent, you may know this well. If you were once a kid, which I suspect you were, then you'll also know this, right? But from the inside rather than from the outside. At around age 12, at puberty, there becomes this battle in the home. Mom wants the bed made before the soccer game starts. The kid wants the soccer game and doesn't care about the bed being made. So those struggles with do this before you do that, and the kid saying, not so much. Don't really care about that right now. Much rather go play soccer out in the street with my friends. That is the volition center coming online. That kid who wants to go play soccer and not make their bed is streaming energy towards what they want to create. They want to create the soccer game on the street. They do not want to create the making of the bed. So even though as parents, that is what we call a power struggle, right? The parent believes that the kids should be making their bed before they go play soccer. Got it. Bid there. The reality is we can know that developmentally, this kid energetically is right where he or she or they belong. And that's really cool. So again, chakra opens out in front, out behind you, and is all about flowing energy towards what you want to create. Now, this chakra is a little bit different than some of the others in that we set this chakra differently depending on our gender. Females would set this chakra at 55%. Males would set this chakra at 45%. Now, let's consider this more hormonal than gender related. In other words, if there's an excess of testosterone kind of hormonal flow in the body, 45% is the appropriate percentage because we don't need to bowl anybody over with our get it done energy. If the prevalence of sex hormones are estrogen and progesterone, then 55% is the appropriate percentage for the third chakra. I hope I've made that as simple to think about as possible. And again, feel free to check out the YouTube videos for the kinds of things that can go wrong with the third chakra.